Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Beyond the Summer presentation of the iLeague Dota 2 Season 3 Chinese qualifiers. Here we've got Tongfu versus Dream Gaming, game number 2 of a best of 2, and we have Tongfu with a 1-0 advantage, making up for lost ground as they did go 0-2 earlier today, but now at least they have 1 point here in their group stage debut. So, going into this next matchup here, going to be pretty interesting to see the different strats because we're already seeing two different heroes that we didn't see previously. Got the sniper through the banning phase, so Tongfu already getting what a lot of people would think is a big advantage there. Sniper win rate over 9,000, but yeah, here I'm curious if they're actually going to pull out something like the Undying and Phoenix again. I don't think it's a one-trick pony. I think they can really execute well on it again, but we'll look at phase 2 most likely. It doesn't seem like that's something they want to pick up in phase 1, but essentially I could see them third picking Phoenix, and then if they get that and there's no Undying Denial pick, they'll probably round out that lineup with that really strong combo. It's really good, and I want to see more of it just because Q1 is so powerful on the hero. But for now, we're going to see the Zeus. Not great in the right clicks. In fact, these guys are kind of polar opposites. While they're both ranged, Zeus has like the shortest auto attack range you can imagine. Sniper getting up to 950. But that being said, Zeus does have range and other things. He's able to extend his reach with Arc Lightning. Last hit that way. Should be a pretty solid mid laner if that's the way they want to run it. He's pretty flexible too. But the two heroes here picked up by Dream Gaming early on shows to me that they want to do a couple of different things. First of all, they want to be able to jump the sniper and burst him down quickly. Clockwork can do that with the hook shot, and then Zeus follow through with his lightning bolt and ball lightning. A lot of potential there. But along with that, they're also emphasizing vision in general. They're going to be able to go ahead and get the rocket flares out, get a couple of scouting Thunder God's Wraths out, and going to be able to maybe survive against smoking. So they can still go for a kind of a greedy core for 777 as long as they give him the right support structure behind that. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're going to be looking for the multiple mana break abilities don't stack. You can't get diffusal on ATBH. Sorry, chat. But no, in this draft, okay, so second pick for Sniper, probably an Earthshaker to keep him covered here in the mid lane. I think that would work out pretty well. You could also get something that could build up a pipe if you're worried about the Zeus being too big, but you don't really know if this is a support Zeus or a core Zeus just yet, so I wouldn't really rush too much into that. In fact, I'm really surprised how much they're thinking about this. They're thinking heavily into 40 seconds of reserve time, matching up and going below the reserve time of the Radiant. And I feel like this should be like a kind of standard response. Like, go for Avenge or go for a Disruptor. You can glimpse back or you can swap out. You'll keep them alive. Earthshaker's the other thing. Like, those three heroes would be fine. Earthshaker's a little bit more vulnerable to Clockwork specifically, so makes sense they don't go for it. But yeah, that was kind of surprising that Kabu took so long to let him know what support he wanted to play. So Kabu Venge. We'll be seeing Udide on the Sniper. And yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, it's in this metagame, it seems like that would be a no-brainer, but it seems like they haven't run Sniper as much and therefore not collaborated with the full draft just yet. Now thinking about their bans, they're pretty confident they want to take the Slark out, worried that that would be just allowing the hero to get on the Sniper too easily and they wouldn't really be able to peel him off rather. So bans for Dream Gaming is a little harsh. I would say Phoenix ban. I think that hero is just still too difficult for them to deal with a melee hero and a 350 range hero, along with the fact that they just got stomped by it. I would say Phoenix is very scary here. But they banned out the Spirit Breaker. They're worried about the Zeus getting charged upon. He has Lightning Bolt to defend himself, but otherwise the charge still goes through cogs and stuff like that pretty easily. And yeah, so we're going to be looking at Ancient Apparition banned out here. Looking for one more ban, it's going to be the Viper. So they're really wanting to emphasize at least succeeding in the early game. They got trounced in the first 20 minutes of last game. They want to say, okay, make the lanes a little stronger. And give a good chance for somebody to pull forward. And you could still pick up something like Lina and do some really good nuke damage to the Sniper while still getting good last hitting. But they go for the Rubik here. So they're going to be able to steal some spells from Venge, some Shrapnel from Sniper, maybe even that Assassinate, which would be really strong in the Rubik's hands. But yeah, either way, Tongfu have a lot of room to respond to this. Probably need something that can fight though, something team fight oriented. They have their lane pretty well just secured. They have their late game and a nice advantage between the Venge and the Sniper. The Venge amps up Sniper's damage and also keeps him defended with the Nether Swap. So I think they have a good point of coverage there. Now they want to go on the offensive. Find their initiators, find ways to take fights to Dream Gaming, and to respond to different situations. So we'll see what we get to get out of Q1. I think they'll reserve Reds drafts. Reds carry for last. That's what they've been doing for the most part here. So I think, yeah, we're going to be seeing aggressive support or a team fight offlaner here coming out for Tongfu. And I really do like that Phoenix, but we'll see. Omni Knight going to come through. Okay, going back to Cloud9 strats, it would seem. Omni Knight Sniper is one of the more frustrating things to deal with. It's a duo of supports that can just keep him right-clicking. You give him a repel, and Sniper goes for a glass cannon build. He goes for literally just Mask of Madness crit. He goes for whatever the hell he wants, because you're going to be able to keep him healed up anyways, unless there's a defusal carrier on the side of Dream Gaming. And I think that because the Omni Knight is a 3rd pick instead of a 4th or 5th, they still have room to change up their draft a little bit. Get an agility hero that actually goes for Diffusal Blade, and you might be in a good spot here. Go for Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer would be great in this game. You could still keep your Phantom Rush charging through past the defensive Nether Swap. You get Diffusal Blade naturally, so you can purge off Repel and Guardian Angel. Phantom Lancer is absolutely the pick, and I just hope that Dream Gaming has practiced it. If 777 is comfortable on the hero, great. But it looks like he's not. And so they'll go with Mirana, who also can go for Diffusal Blade. So she's probably going to pick that up as their 2nd item. Go Treads, Magic Wand type build, Ring of Aquila maybe, Bottle sometimes, and then definitely go for Diffusal after you get that kind of basic core. And that'll allow her to kind of stay on target. Along with that, you've got Rubik's Lift into Arrow, you've got the Cogs to kind of be shooting fish in a barrel. I think the Mirana's still a pretty strong pick here. It doesn't scale as well, so there's some emphasis on Dream Gaming where they have to really get things done. But overall, I still like the pick. I think it's pretty strong.
Radiant team ban.
Guys, just those that are worrying about what stacks with what, orb effects, whatever, I'm just going to post a link in chat. It goes to unique attack, you can even Google it, unique attack modifiers, Dota 2 Wiki, and it will tell all. It's not that complex. Most stuff stacks. Desolator and Mana Break are pretty much the odd men out. I mean, obviously orb effects, and I'll just post it, whatever. And you guys can have fun with that. But that's all I'm gonna do. Just post the link in chat. You guys have fun with that, and continue with the draft because you guys are just ridiculous. Bristleback coming out here for Tongfu. Q1 probably gonna be running that. He goes for Mechanism on this here pretty early on, so they can start fighting as 5 at about the 18-20 minute mark. Trying to think about how Dream Gaming approached that. I mean, they don't really have that much damage. I think that's their weak point. Is Zeus, again, their mid laner is really their only real damage. Clockwork and Rubik bring some good control. Mirana, a lot of control in the right situation, but her right click is pretty weak. She just doesn't suddenly have 200 right click damage. She has to build up very gradually, and Bristleback with an Omni Knight, that's going to be too tanky for them to really deal with. Omni Knight and Bristleback are going to stay on the front line, soak up a ton of damage as these big strength sponges, and I don't really know how Dreamer Gaming respond, how they're actually able to find good kills. The Juggernaut's going to get banned out. They assumed it was going to be a mid Mirana. They go for the Enigma, and that just gives them more control, but maybe the Midnight Pulse will do work. I mean, Midnight Pulse goes through Repel. It's pure damage, so it'll scale based on the high HP of Omni Knight and Bristleback. There is some good potential here. I mean, if the Enigma just gets free farm in the jungle, and they have a good laning phase, I think that there's a decent chance for Dream Gaming here. It's still a bit of a disadvantage compared to what I feel that is going to be coming out from Tongfu, but I think that they have a decent chance. It's going to be reliant on a lot of these skill shots, the hook shots, the rocket flares, the sacred arrows flying through. If they can connect with those, they can find some really good openings, but we'll have to see. For now, it's going to be AO and Demons supporting on the Rubik and the Enigma respectively. They're going to be going for, obviously, a defensive stance with Enigma in the Radiant jungle. Jixing is going to take the Zeus to the mid, looking for a pretty early bottle. 777 on the Mirana in the safe lane. That leaves their off laner to go to that lane with the Clockwork. And here we are with Tongfu's lineup, moving as 5, full formation. These guys just flying through like the mighty ducks. We'll see Kabu on the front, leading the charge here. Boots first, Vengeful Spirit, going to play the 5 position, while LPC gets to get at least a few items up on his Omni Knight support. This leaves the Bristleback to be played by Q1 in the off lane, U9 to take the Sniper to the mid, and Red to take the safe lane Brewmaster. I'm really glad they didn't go for another like tri-core. Oh, sorry about the overlay, guys. Not missing too much. I'll put the items back up, but really we're just running through the jungle. That was close. I'm glad I glanced back over. But I'm glad that they didn't go for a third like right-click mid to late game carry. They wanted something that could actually control the tempo of the game, and the Brewmaster does that quite effectively. Along with that, they're getting some good wards against the Enigma. This Magic Bush ward is going to negate both these camps. The problem with these wards, I really do like the wards, but yeah, and I'll repost that. But anyways, the problem with these wards is they're very predictable. This is a great ward, will block off this initial spawn for the Enigma, but as soon as you see this spawn blocked off, you always put a sentry ward right up here. You guaranteed unblock this pull. If you scout out that this is not spawning and this is not spawning, you know that this general area is caught out, and you can just put a sentry here or up here. So this is very predictable wards. It will block out 3 camps, so it's really efficient wards if they don't get unblocked, but Enigma getting early sentries wouldn't be too surprising to me. What is kind of surprising is he's taken so long to get over to the jungle. He's going to deny 2 creeps? Whoa, I have not actually seen that strat, but it really helps the Clockwork on the off lane and denies the Brewmaster. Essentially what you're looking at here is he's off-laning on the Enigma on the Radiant side. That's definitely not something you see. See, I thought what he was going to do is just sacrifice and go to the jungle. Then I thought, okay, well, he's going to sacrifice 2 creeps and go to the jungle. No, he says, screw it, guys. I'm sacrificing 2 creeps, and I'll be sitting top lane. So he'll not really contribute much in my mind. Stout Shield on the Brew. He'll be zoned back, but Brew loses this lane anyways until the Venge contributes. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling like the Enigma is going to get nearly as much value accomplished here as he would just getting the sentries out in his own jungle, but we'll see. Maybe I'm proven wrong. Maybe Demon's has practiced this a little bit more and has some tricks up his sleeve. For now, though, it's low pressure bottom lane unless they get the lift into Arrow, and even then it's unlikely that Q1 goes down. It's got to be really bad positioning from him. Magic Stick is on the Mirana, not on the Rubik just yet, and they're both pretty low armor, so the Quill Spray is going to hurt quite a bit. 1-1-1 build coming in. Oh, wow. Clockwork's already forced out of lane? Jeez. Magic Missile. Doing some work. Magic Missile into the clap, and suddenly somebody's gets right-click down, gets the auto-crit, and Clockwork loses all his life. So he just says, screw it, I'll go to the lane, or go back to the fountain, and we'll see where he ends up. In the mid lane, you got a 1-1-1 build on the Sniper, so he's able to do some real work. And, yeah, going to be able to put some pressure out on the Zeus, but Zeus, of course, still going to get some last hits. He's 7-0 right now against the Sniper's 10-3. Sniper gets a casual heal from Omni Knight. That's only pretty much 1 clarity now that that item's been buffed so much. So it's not that ineffectual to just do that every once in a while. And it might be turn into this Omni Knight Bristleback dual lane, which I think will be kind of similar to the Omni Knight Axe. Not as good, but still pretty effective. You can man up. You can kind of stay in the lane very actively. So this offlane, I mean, the Clockwork's been forced back once. Enigma has farmed up 4 last hits, so overall a little weak for the jungle. But I mean, they are at least limiting the Brewmaster farming his Blink Dagger. He's only got 8 CS. It's just they're not winning this lane. They're just like losing it less than they would. Whereas the Enigma could be looking at the jungle, trying to deward, and again with some good dewarding, they would open up these camps pretty easily. But they don't risk it. They just go for where they can get the guaranteed golden experience. And Kabu actually going for a flank here onto the Clockwork. They're looking for another play with that Magic Missile and then the Thunderclap, but it's hard to get in with these cogs. Like going around, and all around that tree, you're going to get knocked back by the cogs and lose more mana than you wanted to. So in this case, he doesn't go through. They don't connect with the gank. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that would work for the Clockwork even in a solo lane. Like these demonic conversions do pull the lane back, but so does cog blocking, just putting out the power cogs and delaying the creep wave as best he can. I feel like Clockwork doesn't need the Enigma's help to do what he's doing already. And we'll see just kind of demons roaming around on this Enigma. Very unorthodox. Midnight Pulse, gonna do maybe 1 tick of damage. And they will guarantee the bounty rune thanks to that area denial. So, I mean, right now it's going to be pretty passive. Tongfu are pretty happy to farm for the first 5 or 6 levels. Once the ultimates come out, they can start getting pretty active, but as it stands right now, it's just about lane dominance. And Sniper dominating mid, 23 and 7. Oh, this is 14 and 0. And actually getting shrapnel out here, no degen aura, but headshots are coming through. One more shrapnel, and they could get some really good right click in, but it's a little bit short, and the Omninet won't be able to close distance for the heal bomb. We're going to see the arrow, but it's going to hit the bristle back. He's going to have that regen rune if he can just get out, but too much damage coming through. This is going to be your first blood. So telekinesis into arrow, getting some kill potential, and bristleback pretty far away from his tower. Like, if that play happens here, they're not chasing, they're not diving, and maybe the Omninet's TPing, but all the way down, away, and even maybe getting hit by the tower thanks to the telekinesis pullback. Yeah, he goes down too quickly to get out of there. I think he was just playing overconfident because the regen rune was going to be expiring soon, but in the end, that gives phase boost to Mirana, and she can kind of position herself a little bit better for more arrow snipes. So they're going to leave Rubik to farm the lane bottom, get a little bit for himself, and leave the Mirana missing on the map. The arrow will come through, but the telekinesis, they don't communicate well enough, and now Tongfu gets a free kill. Q1 will be killing the Rubik here, magic stick or not. That's a lot of quill spray against a very low armor hero, and it's just about communication. Essentially, the Mirana was expecting the Rubik to hold him still, but the optimal quote-unquote way of doing it is to actually pull him back because you control his position a little bit better. So the best way to do it is to pull him back. The problem is that causes your arrow to miss. So the Rubik was going for the flashy play, the Mirana wanted the easy one, and in the end they missed the kill and actually feed one back to the bristle. Nigma wants that rune, but looks like he's going to go to Q on once again. He's been dominating this bounty rune really nicely, and it looks like Unan's going to be able to pick up one of his first for the game. So LPC just kind of camps the mid lane. Sniper gets less experience, but he gets all the gold he can desire. And up top, Red now kind of getting a 1v1 matchup against the Clockwork and having a level advantage. Like, this shouldn't be the case. He's had the Venge support, but the Enigma, I guess, is taken away enough of the experience from the Clockwork, and he did have to go back to base once. Generally speaking, though, a Clockwork should be out-leveling Red. This demonic conversion sacrifice does take 1 creep away. There's an exchange while I'm talking about that, so I do apologize for missing that. But right here, we do see that it is going to be the Venge just committing to the Zeus. They get the kill on the Zeus, but obviously the return kill thanks to the Mirana's arrow coming in from the side. Down bottom, Q1 doing his thing, no big deal. Oh, really good arrow coming in for 777. The heal, though, from LPC allows him to turn it, and Mirana just leaped in. Oh, the Thunder God's Wrath almost does it. They will trade it 1 for 1. Mirana dies second, so Omniknight gets the experience. And he's actually suddenly level 5.25. Nice Thunder God's Wrath, though. Without that, there's no way that Mirana actually wins that exchange. But yeah, the heal bomb was insufficient, and LPC didn't have mana for the repel. Looking for a hook shot. Brewmaster a pretty prime target, but Kabu's rotating in from the side, so just going to go back to the laning configuration, and with the help of the Mirana here, they could find Kabu pretty easily. Like, it's really hard to run in this situation with the arrow going to be pursuing. The hookshot 1, though, the arrow the other. Either way, Kabu will fall, and Demons is here with a stun on Red. So they get the Malefice. LPC going for the heal. Big heal, big repel, but is it enough to get him out? The damage from the right clicks as well as the Midnight Pulse still ticks through, and that's going to be the death of the Brewmaster. Now going to get the arrow on LPC. He's got the heal very soon. The Malefice stun. Oh, beautiful stun coming in from Demons, and they get another kill. Dream Gaming are really good at finding these small windows where they get these random kills. Oh, Zeus. Oh, poor Zeus. You may feel like a god, but right now you look like a dwarf. You're getting just destroyed, and it looks like Rubik's going to go down too. This Bristleback's so confident. Nice shrapnel. Stolen, but not going to be enough to bring down the Bristleback. It's just going to be 2 kills going their way, 1 for each. But yeah, DGA, I feel like they're really good at finding these kind of random kill opportunities, like where you normally wouldn't see them. Like just flanking, finding rare movements where you can just use your abilities, find a stray kill because they just don't expect you to be in a certain position. And the Mirana really suits that strategy. The problem is they're not really able to follow it up with really good last hitting. Like their kill score is always in favor in the early game, but their last hits are so weak that they're still losing out on net worth. And I feel like that's a real problem. They need to focus on farming as well as killing. They can't just win by upping the kill ante. And now we see the split forced out here. Going to be stunning onto Enigma. Nice stun onto LPC. And it looks like he's going to be fine, but Enigma, not so much. Midnight Pulse comes down. Detection is lacking. Kabu will be going down. Now the Sentry Ward comes out. Zeus will go down. And even Rana walking under the ward. She's going for LPC, but she might be just gunned down. Oh no. Leaping out, gets some distance. The Assassinate is on cooldown, so he will be alright. Rocket Flare coming in. Hookshot available, and it connects onto LPC. Very nice. Control from the Clockwork, and they're going to be able to finish that one off clean. Down bottom, though. Bristleback winning out. Getting free farm, getting the tower. Actually kind of surprised he didn't rotate, but I guess the fact that the Omni-Knight had just rotated, it does delay the TP to 5 seconds instead of 3, and that's a bit of a problem. But still, the tower's going to go down. Mirana looking for the last hit here. They're stunning out. Bristleback, they get the glyph out, and it's not in deny range just yet. So instead, they're going to have to use the black hole on the front line. Arrow at maximum proximity, no stun extra, and now Qon's fine to turn it around with Magic Wand. Oh, confident with the Brewmaster blink in. Demons goes down quick, and Mirana's very low, though she will bottle up, and they will not get greedy. They won't dive further. But still, the arrow, not really ideal during a black hole. It had only 100 distance, but we're going to see it actually probably do some work here. Oh, I heard it, but it actually went out to the lane to try to deal with the Brewmaster and didn't connect. $2,000 net worth in favor of Tongfu right now, and that's before the tower even goes down. 1,600 experience as well. And as I was mentioning, U9 just gets to go for Mask of Madness straight out because of the Omni-Knight at his back. The Rubik did steal Purification earlier. Looks like he's used that a couple of times, but it's really difficult to get like a nuke combo with that. Oh, actually, gonna find the Zeus here. Nice blink movement from Red, and Zeus just too far from home. But yeah, I actually really like the idea of like the Clockwork hooking in, and then the Purification goes against him, but the Rubik's not here. It's just going to be a solo kill attempt, and it should be successful here. Kabu, Wave of Terror, just for some tower damage, but will still be going down. Nice pickups from the Clockwork, and he's really the one generating forward momentum for the side of DG. If you look at it, KDA, everybody's got some deaths, but Clockwork, he is unmarred in his KDA. Shrapnel versus Shrapnel. Arrow going on a creep. U9 getting a lot of free hits, and it looks like he'll just kill AO straight out. There's no stun to stop this one, and U9 will get another kill. So again, unmarred, the Clockwork 202. He's really generating opportunities, but everybody else is it's down in the trenches for them. They're going into these costly exchanges. We're seeing Brewmaster looking to blink in with the Smoke of Deceit. Blink already unveiled down bottom, but a lot of potential for it to come into play here in the mid. I mean, Jixing, he's so slow. He's so weak at 345 MS. If they see him here, they're going to go immediately. But, oh, he Lightning Bolts? Oh, that's a bad move, Jixing. Sticking around here with the Lightning Bolt. He may have the support of the Clockwork soon, but actually he just narrowly dodges out. Brewmaster, blinking high to low ground, does not actually get the connection with the Thunderclap. So, despite unfortunately revealing himself, it doesn't actually cost him his life. Assassinate stolen too from the Rubik, so really getting some good spells now. And I mean, if you look at it, he's got a good mana pool. He can cast his spell twice, and he still has a Clarity too. So he can put out some really good damage with this Assassinate, and we'll see if he gets the opportunity to do so. I like this Bristleback build though. Going in, taking the farm that he got on the bottom lane, pushing down the tower, which was last hit by him in the end, and going in for this big, beefy, tanky build. Now Brewmaster very confident with his Repel. He'll be able to bring down Jixing. It looks like Detection might actually keep him alive. Yeah, Moonlight Shadow speeds him away. Clockwork closing in on Kabu will bring him down. So we have here the stuns coming out, but no detection outside the Sentry Ward's range. So they have to retreat. The lack of detection on the Initiators is what hurts them there. If you have like Dust of Appearance in the Brewmaster, you can still find that Zeus scale and probably turn on another. But in this situation, Jixing survives, and they go back to farming. Moonlight Shadow overwhelming Tongfu. So Mirana goes for the Midas, and I don't mind this at all. I think that she really benefits from this item, and it's probably one of the best pickups if you get a little bit of farm on her. She, essentially, the way I look at it is Mirana is not a hero that benefits from getting one item. She gets a Yasha, whatever. Goes for a Blink Dagger, pointless. No. It's going to be... don't go for it. He's got a Vanguard, he's got a Cloak. There's no way they get this kill. But he's going to go for it. Going to at least be able to leap away. But the Assassinate, can it be dodged? Oh, just barely. Good timing for 777. And Tongfu still looking to pursue. They've got the Warpath. They're on it. But looks like he's going to run into 3. This is overzealous. Q on. Going to get caught all by himself. The purification comes through, but it's going to need a lot more than just that to survive. Repel will help him out, but he might need the Guardian Angel too. The Black Hole coming in with the Midnight Pulse. Q1 dropping fast, and the disables aren't coming. This is a 5v1, Bristleback. You've bit off a bit more than you can chew. Red going in, though. This is a good play. No split available, though, and Kabu just throwing the missile and going on the run. Assassinate from the Rubik. Ayo dies right before he can assassinate, but the Rocket Flare picks up Avenge in the end. Jixing, hiding, trying to juke. Should probably TP away. Pinging. They saw him. They saw him blinking across. They're going to find Jixing. He actually gets a return kill thanks to... he had some vision here. Oh, arrow connects as well. Oh, what a crazy fight. We see initially it was a 2-for-1, but then the Zeus and the Omni Knight trade 1-for-1 after the fact. So Black Hole brings down the Bristleback, and then the Rocket Flare brings down the Avenge. But that was pretty interesting. The Dire Observer Ward didn't actually give them vision, so that might have just been a blind lightning bolt going out from the fog. That'd be really cool. Anywho, the end result is like a very active, hefty confrontation between the two sides, and no clear victor. Obviously, the Black Hole being on cooldown is a loss, but Tongfu feeding any kills away when they have such a good net worth advantage isn't the ideal either. So, right now, I was going to talk about this Bristleback's build and how I like the Q1 translated his pressure that he put out down bottom into good defensive items. Vanguard, Cloak, that's going to allow him to man up heavily, but... that also seems to have shifted his attitude into overdrive of I can take on the world, and they put him in his place pretty quickly with that 4v1. But still they're going to go for the tower pretty quickly here, and I doubt that that's going to be anything but a last hit from Tongfu. The Zeus doesn't really have the last hit potential. And we're going to see a Pipe of Insight actually come through from the Bristleback. Really good against the Zeus, and it does end up being a core Zeus. So I talked about this pretty early in the draft, but Tongfu get a Pipe Carrier that will do some work. When affected by Pipe of Insight and Guardian Angel, pretty much nobody dies. I mean, yes, there's some pure damage, but until Mirana gets this Diffusal Blade, which she is working towards, there should be nobody really going down in these fights. We're going to see early Roche come through, and again, the presence of the Primal Split, as well as the potential of the Omni Knight to turn fights, allows them to go for this play just with the 2 cores in the pit. We're actually seeing a smoke come through, though, and that's what kind of confused me. I guess smoking the Omni Knight allows them to get more coverage, but I think also they're looking to make a play up top. They want to combine an objective obtained with an offensive play. They can't get the TP out readily enough, but maybe if they stick around, they can go for a swap missile. Enigma's the real target. Oh, if they can find him, but the smoke broke, and he's just going to keep moving on instead of farming that last creep. Easy arrow, but inconsequential. Mid lane? Oh, Zeus. Poor Zeus. The Mask of Madness. He almost had the Thunder God's Wrath, but the Mask of Madness just headshots him out too quickly, and he gave him one warning shot too many, it seems. But yeah, I was going to say the Mirana, the Hand of Midas is good because she needs like 2 or 3 items to be really relevant. The Diffusal Blade, and then go into Manta Style, go into Crit or something like that. That's where you really come online, not just with 1 2,000 gold pickup. Body blocking coming in. They're going to put him on the cliff, I think. No, just into the cogs. And LPC is going to be able to repel him. Black Hole into 2. The repel stolen. Can Kabuk actually swap him out? Doesn't swap the Enigma. Swaps the Bristleback to give him a better position. But it's still hard for him to take this fight. He has a lot of HP regen with the Vanguard and the Hood, so he's deceptively tanky. And they're just going to TP away. Too many reinforcements have arrived. They get their 2-for-0. They walk away with a repel, and they're happy with that. That's actually a really good forward swing for DG. Getting about 1,400 gold is well as 1800 experience in their favor. When you look at how much Tongfu lost as well. Aegis on the sniper though, he's going to be able to do pretty much whatever he wants, and the Omni Knight surely going to be TPing up to help him out soon. It's the support's duty after all, just to get up here and keep your ally alive. That's LPC's job this game. I mean, they're pursuing a tier 2, but Omni Knight's not here. I feel like there is some substantial risk coming involved when you consider the Zeus has his level 11 now. There could easily be a pickoff on at least the Aegis, and then really once you kill the bristleback and you pop the Aegis, what can the sniper do with that second life? He needs reinforcements. He needs other people behind him. Otherwise that second life, the Aegis means nothing, and he just dies a second time. So they're going to bring in all 5, and they're going to commit to this tier 2. Already chipping away at it, it's pretty low, but the arrow going to be hitting. Is this a bait? I mean, U9 with Mascabana, Sanjin Yasha should be able to sidestep that, but maybe he was talking to a pretty lady and was alt-tabbed. Either way, we've got down bottom, Enigma, pushing the tier 1 as best he can. Ideally, this tower should have fallen like 10 minutes ago, but this has not been an ideal world for this Enigma. He hasn't been able to focus on the jungle at all. He has 84 last hits. He hasn't been farming. But now the dust comes in for the Brewmaster. Red delivers exactly as I was ordering it. And that's going to be bringing down the clockwork here inside his own cogs. So they retreat up top. They get the kills down bottom. And unstoppable streak for U9 as he's unlikely to die a second time this game. Like, he has just so much support coverage. And in fact, actually, Mirana getting swapped and missiled. The leap came out pretty early there. And she's unable to disengage. I think she was thinking this was a safe place. But with this Dire Observer ward, they scout out her every move. And with them watching her, they're able to find the opening. Now here in the jungle, it's going to be Red almost killing off the Zeus, but just barely gets his TP out before the last right click from the double damage Brewmaster or the Assassinate connects. Like I said, I get distracted easily. This looks pretty cool. It's the Pudge taunt, I believe, but it's an interesting one, especially when it's all shiny and blue. A lot of Frost effigies. Nice, Ayo. Nice. Alright, back to the state of the game. Enough of that nonsense. We've got 5,000 gold and experience at least in favor of Tongfu. They're pushing on the tier 2. Nothing to stop them. And that Diffusive Blade is still not up yet for the Mirana. Needs to... I mean, she's died twice, but she has found some good kills. 8, 2, and 2, as well as using that Hand of Midas as best she can. The problem is she hasn't just been sitting on a lane and getting some me time in. She's not been farming, she's been fighting. And that does net them... She participates in 10 of their 15 kills, which is great, but in the end, you look at the last hit charts, and nobody is anywhere near the sniper. These arrows are still connecting, though. I'm not sure whether to say that these are really great arrows from 777, or these are really just really crappy dodges from Tongfu. It feels like it's a 50-50. Some of them are really good arrows, but some of them really shouldn't connect, and they just don't care. Either way, we have a Smoke Deceit up on the Mirana, looking for a nice flanking angle. The Blink Dagger up on the Enigma. This could be the defense. A good black hole could turn this. And that Diffusive Blade also being of high impact in these fights. But Tongfu aren't going to force the issue. It's got to be DG to take the fight to their opponents. And vision is a real problem. They have scouting tools like the Rocket Flare, the Thunder God's Wrath, but it's hard to open with them. They find one. They get him immediately. Black hole could go on 2, but no. The Bristleback dodges out. The swap out from LPC just barely surviving with the repel. Oh my gosh. Just a narrow survival. Guardian Angel, everybody's alive. LPC dies to the Midnight Pulse, but on the high ground here, the Clockwork gets stuck. Actually, an awkward position for him. I think he force-staffed himself up there, and he does go down. Now the Tornado from the Wind Panda catches out 777, and with only 1 point in leap, the Viscous Nasal Goo will actually lock him down here. There's no getting out once the goo finds you, and Mirana will get peeped. Now we see Brewmaster split, actually stolen by AO. That's a pretty big find, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do much for the next couple of minutes with it. So, yeah, pretty awkward stuff. The Omni Knight walked back into the Midnight Pulse, so he dies despite the repel, because that is pure damage. And then the Clockwork is up here for some reason. I'm almost positive he hookshotted out of his cogs up to that spot. Not sure if that was a defensive play. There was a lot of chaos in the mix of the river, but in the end, DG, desperate to make something happen, they commit the Black Hole solo to the Omni Knight, and he just gets swapped out. Again, the Venge doesn't choose to swap the Enigma to break the Black Hole. She's just fine with swapping the person out of the hole itself, and she'll be sitting in it for the remainder of the duration. But minor things, she still is doing really well this game. Despite being 0-8, Kabu has made a real big impact. So let's just look at the KDA. Sometimes it's good to call people out. We've got like 8 kills in the Mirana and 8 deaths on the Vengeful Spirit. What a coincidence. But yeah, I don't know. These have been some pretty good fights from DG. I just feel like they're kind of treading water right now. They have to find more. We're getting some momentum here. Going up against Red. They're going to bring it on the Brewmaster. Zeus plus Clockwork making it happen. And those kills certainly do matter. But yeah, like I was saying, if they don't keep finding those kill opportunities, it feels like they're starting to stagnate. Like as a team, they hit the Diffuser Blade. They got some Midas momentum. Kabu, dangerous warding. Doing his best. But yeah, this is kind of in a position where I did drop some frames. Can you guys let me lag? Tell me if I'm lagging. Sorry, I'm just trying to say 2 things at once. Anyways, let me know if it's lagging. I think I combined those 2 sentences. Let me lag. Okay. 21.6. I only dropped a few frames, and I think that stopped. So I just was probably for about like 15-20 seconds there. I'll keep an eye on it though in the future. And make adjustments if necessary. But this is the last game for today, so hopefully it was just a brief hiccup that won't matter too much anymore. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. So we see an arrow coming out of U9, going to be covered up pretty well by Repel and the Purification. He does get an MKB, wow. That's a way to stop a black hole. Is just right-click the Enigma, and suddenly your headshot actually midi-stuns again. Is essentially, he's getting a throwback to the last patch. His MKB can actually break black hole, and of course any channel like a TP away. For those that wonder how headshot stacks with MKB, it's just completely additive. Both can proc on the same hit. Headshot is completely independent. You can have attacks that proc headshot, attacks that proc MKB, and attacks that proc both. And in that case, it just adds the damage together. But beyond that, yeah, Midas Gaming from DG, they're just going to try to hold the line, turtle it up, but I feel like that only delays their problems. They really need to take forward momentum. They need to start winning fights, and they're down to the last smokes, I believe. They have, oh no, they've not been using them hardly at all. I guess I've just seen the last 2 and assumed that those were like their last ones, because around 26 minutes, if you're doing 2 smokes back to back, you're generally out of stock for a little while after. But in this case, they did very little smoking early. And now they have 3 in their arsenal, so get to it, guys. Start using those smokes, and maybe they'll find a early pickoff on, let's say, the Omni Knight. You kill the Omni Knight at the beginning of the fight, and then you can focus down the sniper, assuming he's not cutting you all day long. Gonna see an opportunity here. The smoke did get popped, but Dire gonna break it with the Brewmaster. Gonna pull him right into the arrow. Great combo there, but LPC keeps him covered. Kabu going for the sacrificial swap out. Where's that detection? Demon's getting hit by all those bashes, and they do get the dust onto just him. Onto 2. So, good combo there from Tongfu. The gank is unsuccessful from DG. They try to open pretty hard on that Brewmaster, but they've just got too many reactive supports. The Venge, the Omni Knight, really good here for reactive situations, and that's while Kabu's level 9. I can't imagine what these guys' swaps are going to be like when he's up to level 11. Like, he's been every single fight making an impactful swap, adding in from 600 to 950 range, or 700 to 950. Big difference. Kabu's going to be able to do a lot more. And they're just going to go ahead and take down Roshan. Aegis now once again on the sniper, and I think they push for the win with this. They don't really have to. I feel their late game is really strong, but there's no reason to waste time farming when they could just go in and take a tier 3 at Arax and pretty much secure their victory. And it's going to be a... I'm kind of surprised there's no pipe finished for Bristleback. Just goes for the casual hood for himself. A lot of survivability there. And then he goes for the Heart of Tarrasque next. So a lot of HP to work with. Could he get some extra Quill Spray procs thanks to his passive, thanks to all that hard HP. So I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good. But I usually see the AC or the pipe come out and then the Heart of Tarrasque to follow. It's just a different priority system for Q1 as he just wants that raw right click and health. So we go up to the high ground here. Midnight Pulse comes through, but oh man, he's paying for that Midnight Pulse with his life. Arrow gonna be dodged. The Midnight Pulse does a little bit of work, but really not enough. And they're just going to go ahead and take the tower from the low ground to high. That's a tough situation to be in. They even ward in their own base, just trying to get the intel they need. And they do see a little bit more as a result of it during the nighttime. So maybe it's a desperation vision they need, but they'll jump on U9. He'll get a lot of coverage here. It's going to be the swap back. Kabu gets pushed back by the Cogs. She'll die instantly. They actually have a swap on the Rubik, so Rubik will die for the cause. Clockwork will try to get out, and it looks like he'll succeed. You 4-staff swap out, yeah, he'll disengage, but at the cost of their Rubik. They bought back on the Enigma. Die back for the Enigma. No black hole. Oh, no. That's the death you can't afford. They'll bring down the sniper once, but he's got that Aegis. They got 3 strength heroes on the front line now protecting him. And, yeah, they're just going to clean them all up. LPC might die to 1 stray nuke. There's the Rocket Flare to do it, but even still, they've got 3 in the base. Perfectly ready to fight it. Clockwork Bob back. They might fall back. No, U9 man's up. He's got a BKB of his own. He doesn't need Omni's help. He doesn't need the repel. He's a one-man wrecking crew, and he is doing just that. Double kill, godlike streak for him. He pops out and avails a new BKB, brandishing his gun, and just shouting ho-ho, ha-ha all the while. Wow. U9 wrecking face, taking down the bottom racks, standing his ground and ending up with a KDA of 15, 1, and 5. Things are looking really, really good for DG, and not so, or whoa, the other way around. Really good for Tongfu, not so hot for DG. A Blade Mail coming out for the Clockwork who just bought back, but if you think about it, he's going up against a BKB and a Repel. Anybody that's doing damage to this Clockwork isn't going to be taking Blade Mail damage. There was another pickup, but I can't see. I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to help at this point. Ghost Scepter and Force Staff are nice ideas for the Zeus to try to survive long enough to get his spells out. A couple volleys here and there, but nothing seems to be working. DG just can't find the fight that they need, and their lack of carry is really hurting them too, because this 777 has not been able to play like a carry hero. Like, I have seen Mirana's kind of semi-carry and even fully carry a game when they get a ton of farm, but that's just it. The only farm that's really being generated for him is a few kills, 8 kills, 3 assists, and his usage of Hand of Midas, which is fine, but it's not giving him the items he needs to win a game. He needs to be like at least 12,000 net worth to be in a position where he could try to mount the comeback, and there's another BKB now. I mean, suddenly everybody has immunity. You have a magic resistance of 47% on the Bristleback. You have BKB on the Sniper as well as the Brewmaster, and Repel on whoever you choose. Spenge now at level 11, looking for any swap she can find. And Sniper even finding crit for himself, because why not? This is going to be kind of the death push here. Even without the Aegis, I'm pretty sure they're confident. There are no buybacks on the Clockwork, the Mirana, or the Enigma, and they're going to use that to their advantage here. Dominating the game. DG found some really nice kills in the early game, but again, it's the CS that really makes the difference here. Doubling. I mean, Mirana has 92 last hits as their safe lane farmer, and Sniper has 257. That's not just about map dominance. That's about knowing where to find farm. In the end, Tongfu have dominated it, and we're going to see the Repel eaten by a Repel. Sorry, Arrow eaten by Repel. It's coming to the conclusion of our broadcast day. We see a 2-man Black Hole Midnight Pulse doing some work on the back line, but it's not going to be enough. We see the Bristleback diving in, up against everybody. U9 killing off wherever he can, and nobody dies on the side of Tongfu. Anybody that initiates outside the base dies, and the others cower in their fountain in fear. The second laner racks down. The victory going the way of Tongfu, and they make it a 2-0 here. The first game was really fun, seeing how they were able to play that Phoenix Undying lineup. In this case, it's just kind of your classic standard sniper plus linebacker lineup. They put 2 or 3 people in front of the sniper, give them all the heals they need, swap back as necessary, and they go in for a resolute and successful 32.5 minute win for Tongfu. I'm slurring my words. I apparently need to go get some breakfast because I haven't had anything to eat just yet. And that's going to wrap it up for us here today. We're coming to the conclusion of our broadcast day with this game here, a 2-0 swing in favor of Tongfu after getting 2-0'd by Newbie's youngster squad. So really nice for them to bounce back and still even it up at the end of the day here in iLeague China. They're looking in a position where they can actually start looking for some of those higher tier group stage slots, as long as they keep up this kind of gameplay. But who knows what we're going to be expecting the next few days, because right now it's 6.83, and that's your standard sniper draft, but soon the orthodox will become unorthodox. The meta will shift, and 6.84 will be upon us. I can't wait to dig into that and really just get into some metagame theory crafting. That's probably my favorite thing about Dota 2 in its entirety, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But for now, that's going to wrap up our broadcast of iLeague China, and we're going to be seeing you guys tomorrow at the same time. That's 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. for the Eastern Daylight Time, folks. Add 6 hours to that, starting out at 1,300 hours, going to 1,700 hours for the Central European summertime, folks. Anyways, that's going to finish it off for now. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, check out BeyondTheSummit.tv, the coverage hub for BTS. And if you enjoyed the commentary, look me up on twitter.com/blazecasting. And if you didn't, then you can send a mean tweet my way. But if you can phrase it in a way that's constructive and and mention things that I can work on, then heck, I'll take the hate with the love. Please let me know what I can do to improve. It is a solo cast after all, so there are certainly some weak points, and I'd be happy to work on it as I look to continue to bring you guys the commentary here for iLeague China. Anyways, that wraps it up for us here today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.